All right, thank you. So at this time, we're going to open up the floor for some public comment, but before I do so, I'm going to ask that you please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Public comment by phone will follow in-person comment. A caller may be placed on hold until others have called in earlier or have had the opportunity to speak. So do we have anyone online to speak? We have no one online. Okay. Is there anyone in the audience at this time who would like to come forward? And if you would, please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Hi there. My name's Don Langrehr. I live at 1326 Woodbine Street here in Roanoke, Virginia. Thanks for making this convenient for me. Since it hasn't been acknowledged yet, I'd like to note the sad, tragic passing of Matthew Frazier, a VDOT worker who died tragically on I-81 about a week ago at the hands of a reckless tractor-trailer driver. Unfortunately, he's not the first person to die in that manner on that highway, as you all know. Last year, there were 3 deaths: Gary King, Janet Rittenauer, and Candy Porch. All these people, their families are still suffering because of this behavior on this road. And I bring these tragedies up to illustrate one of the issues brought up in the actual I-81 corridor improvement plan. It noted in several places in that plan that 70% of the respondents, I being one of them, noted that we really support increased traffic speed enforcement on that highway. And it's not happening. And because in that improvement plan, it also noted that this committee was tasked with forming an I-81 corridor speed enforcement task force. And I bring that up, and I wanted to bring this up specifically with all of you because it's almost 4 years now. And I've watched a couple of these meetings online. I'm here today. I've read through the minutes, and I haven't seen any mention of this task force yet. And so my specific question to you all is, do you have any intention of forming this task force? And if not, why? Okay. It's great to hear $400 million being used to increase more asphalt on the highway. That may decrease some of the congestion on that road. But we know, I think we could all agree, that those additional lanes are not going to cure or solve reckless speeding by tractor trailers on that road. And so I appreciate the opportunity to address this issue with you, and I really urge you to consider forming that task force and getting something going.
Okay, I'm sorry, would you state your last name again, please?
Langrehr. L-A-N-G-R-E-H-R.
Mr. Langrehr, thank you. We appreciate you being here, and we do regret the fatalities that happened to our highway workers. It's a very dangerous place to work, and I apologize for not mentioning and bringing that as a moment of silence when we began this meeting today in consideration of that family. I think that gentleman was from Clifton Forge, as a district that I represent, and so I regret that deeply. I don't recall the petition in the legislation for the speed task force, but I will go back and look at that. I will say part of our problem has been our state police are currently down. I say currently, I don't know the exact status, but we were over about 300 troopers for a significant period of time, and our superintendent of state police has had a difficult time filling those positions. We're currently, through the budget appropriation, we had a significant increase in pay to try to encourage and promote and recruit more officers, and we do need more officers on the highway. I understand. I think we've done quite a bit to improve the enhancement of safety along the corridor for the motorist, for people traveling in passenger vehicles and trucks. But we certainly got a long ways to go. But I will go back and look at the responsibility associated with the speed task force and see what those requirements are and see if we can't make improvements there, Mr. Langrehr.
It's pretty clearly labeled in that report. There are 3 specific recommendations.
Sure, I'll see what that detail is. Thank you kindly for coming out today. Appreciate it. Anyone else in the audience who would like to speak or